This is Daily News Brief, quick, clear, and current. Hit like and subscribe for more news that matters. Here are the top highlights making headlines in the news today. You absolutely should not buy Apple's iPhone Air MagSafe battery pack. Starbucks CEO says the coffee chain won't lose its cash-strapped consumers because it's on its way to being a world-class customer service company. Toyota recalling 590K vehicles. If you have one, bring it to your dealer immediately. Prosecutor says stalking suspect ambushed Pennsylvania police officers, killing 3. Metal rod tears through car, pierces driver's rear end while driving along California freeway. Latest crypto market news today, September 18. FOMC rate cut aftermath, BTC, ETH, XRP, and Solana stable as BNB close to 1K USD. Boeing, Honeywell sued by Air India crash victim families. Watch this Audi jump an open drawbridge in Seattle and leave the cops behind. On the run, wallaby found dead after search. Russian government explores way to make ends meet as budget deadline looms. Barron Trump's unexpected personal news leak speaks volumes about his future with his president dad. Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints part of water release to the Great Salt Lake. U.S. import dependence on EU on the rise, outpacing China, study finds. Donald Trump's latest heated exchange with the press should have everyone very, very concerned. Medical professionals say this is the absolute worst thing you can do in the ER. Harris says Buttigieg was her first choice for 2024 running mate, but the pairing was too risky. Stay tuned as we break down the stories behind these headlines. Apple recently released the iPhone Air and a MagSafe battery pack.
The battery pack is presented as an essential accessory.
However, it is overpriced at $99 for its capacity.
Third-party options offer better value.
The Anker Nano, for example, provides 5,000 mAh for $55.
This is almost double the capacity for half the price.
It also offers faster charging speeds than Apple's battery pack.
Many similar alternatives exist from reputable brands.
Starbucks Chief Executive Officer Brian Niccol believes the company can withstand economic uncertainty. Niccol recently celebrated the one-year anniversary of his Back to Starbucks plan. Niccol wants to foster connections between customers and baristas through personal touches. Niccol stated that there is a significant opportunity to become the defining customer service company. The Back to Starbucks plan has seen mixed results after 1 year. Toyota is recalling over 590,000 vehicles due to a display panel malfunction.
This recall affects certain Toyota and Lexus models, including the Crown, RAV4, and Camry.
The malfunctioning 12.3-inch display panel could go blank, obscuring important safety information.
This could increase the risk of a crash or injury.
Affected vehicle owners will be notified by mail in mid-November.
Owners can take their vehicles to local dealers for a free inspection and repair.
The repair will involve either fixing the panel or updating its software.
For more information, contact the Toyota Brand Engagement Center at 1-800-331-4331.
In southern Pennsylvania, a suspect killed 3 police officers and wounded 2 others.
The ex-girlfriend and her mother had previously alerted authorities after a trail camera captured the suspect armed outside their home.
6 officers, using a drone, later returned to the property and found the previously locked door of the house unlocked.
Ruth, armed with a suppressed AR-style rifle, killed 3 detectives at the scene and seriously wounded a 4th.
A Downey woman survived being impaled by a metal rod while driving on the 57 freeway.
The incident occurred Tuesday morning as she was driving to a hiking trail.
The rod pierced her car seat and injured her left buttock.
She was rushed to a trauma center and is now recovering at home.
The woman, a nurse, initially thought she had been shot or hit by another vehicle.
She later realized a metal rod had impaled her through the car seat.
Despite the paramedics' advice, she instinctively removed the rod herself.
She urges drivers to secure their loads properly to prevent similar accidents.
Families of 4 Air India crash victims are suing Boeing and Honeywell.
They allege faulty fuel switches caused the June 12 crash.
The Federal Aviation Administration does not believe the switches caused the accident.
The lawsuit claims the switches are prone to accidental activation.
A 2018 Federal Aviation Administration advisory recommended inspection of these switches.
Air India reportedly did not conduct the recommended inspections.
However, the airline stated it complied with all airworthiness directives.
This lawsuit appears to be the first in the United States regarding this crash.
A driver in a stolen Audi jumped the University Bridge in Seattle as it was opening.
The incident occurred around 12:25 post-meridium on September 17 and was captured on traffic camera video.
The driver bypassed stopped traffic, busted through the barriers, and jumped the opening bridge.
Police were pursuing the vehicle but did not follow it over the open bridge.
The car was later found abandoned with a broken windshield and damaged undercarriage.
The driver is still at large and may be injured.
It is unclear when the car was stolen or how the police initially encountered it.
The investigation is ongoing.
An escaped wallaby named Mr. Willoughby Wallaby was found dead by the roadside in Leicestershire.
He escaped his enclosure at Roots at Thorpe Farm after Storm Amy damaged it.
Searches were conducted with aerial assistance and several sightings were reported.
Farmer George Mount confirmed Mr. Willoughby Wallaby was found dead on Friday.
It is believed he was hit by a car.
Mr. Willoughby Wallaby was 5 years old and lived at the farm with 3 brothers.
They were a popular attraction alongside other animals.
Mr. Mount expressed sadness but also gratitude for community support.
The Russian government is exploring a value-added tax increase to manage its budget deficit.
This comes despite President Vladimir Putin publicly stating there will be no tax increases.
The current value-added tax rate is 20%.
The government is considering raising it to 22%.
Russia has already increased personal income and corporate taxes this year.
However, the federal budget deficit has tripled to 1.7% of the gross domestic product.
A value-added tax increase could halve the projected 2026 deficit.
This measure is being considered alongside maintaining the current budget rule for windfall oil revenues.
Barron Trump, son of the former president, has transferred to New York University's Washington, District of Columbia campus.
He previously attended New York University's Greenwich Village campus while commuting from Trump Tower.
The Washington, District of Columbia campus is located near the White House.
It specializes in politics, policy, business, journalism, and leadership.
The reasons for his transfer and his current living arrangements are unconfirmed.
His future plans regarding returning to New York City are also unknown.
It is reported that Melania Trump closely monitors her son's activities.
Barron Trump is reportedly interested in business and finance, potentially following in his father's footsteps.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is releasing over 3 billion gallons of water to the Great Salt Lake.
The water will flow from the Jordan River and Utah Lake into the Great Salt Lakes Farmington and Gilbert Bays.
This release is part of a long-term lease providing between 4,000 and 7,433 acre-feet of water annually.
The church partnered with the Jordan Valley Water Conservancy District, the Great Salt Lake Watershed Enhancement Trust, the Utah Division of Wildlife Resources, and the Utah Division of Forestry, Fire and State Lands for this project.
Bishop W. Christopher Waddell emphasized the church's commitment to environmental stewardship.
This is not the first contribution from the church to the Great Salt Lake.
In 2023, the church donated over 20,000 acre-feet of water.
This was the largest single water donation in Utah history.
A German study reveals the United States relies more on European Union imports than commonly thought.
The European Union has surpassed China in both total import value and number of goods imported by the United States.
This dependence has grown over the past 15 years.
Over 3,100 product groups now have at least 50% of their imports coming from the European Union.
The total import value of these goods reached $287 billion last year.
This is nearly 2.5 times more than in 2010.
By comparison, China accounted for 2,925 product groups, with a total value of $247 billion.
The study suggests the European Union has leverage in trade negotiations with the United States.
President Trump recently responded to a question about hate speech by attacking a reporter and the news organization.
He suggested that the reporter and American Broadcasting Company should be targeted for their treatment of him.
President Trump also mentioned a previous defamation settlement with American Broadcasting Company.
This exchange followed President Trump's announcement of a lawsuit against the New York Times.
This has heightened concerns about freedom of the press under his administration.
The incident occurred after a question regarding Pam Bondi and targeting hate speech.
President Trump felt the reporter was treating him unfairly and harboring negativity.
He implied that actions might be taken against the reporter and American Broadcasting Company.
Emergency room visits are unplanned and stressful.
It is crucial to be respectful of staff and other patients.
Violence against healthcare workers is a serious issue.
Many emergency physicians report being assaulted.
Long wait times are common in emergency rooms.
Prioritize your health concerns appropriately.
Consider urgent care for non-emergencies.
Self-triage can save time and money.
Kamala Harris reveals in her new book that Pete Buttigieg was her top choice for running mate.
She believed he would have been ideal, but the combination presented too much risk for the American public.
Harris felt the country was already being asked to accept a black woman, married to a Jewish man.
Adding Buttigieg to the ticket could have been too much.
She expresses mutual sadness with Buttigieg over the decision.
Harris acknowledges her close working relationship and friendship with Buttigieg and his husband.
After Joe Biden dropped out of the race, Harris ultimately selected Tim Walz as her running mate.
The Harris-Walz ticket lost the election to Donald Trump.
Thank you for listening. Stay informed, stay aware, and join us again for more updates that matter. Until next time.